here. Well, I'm going to start with the South American corrugated box market. In a few minutes, I will try to describe for you the composition of the market, of our market. A lot of people don't know that's American, South American or American Latina, the composition of the market. We can see in this pie chart, South America has 6% market share of the global corrugated box. This is an important pie, because important chart, because you can see here the production of corrugated cardboard per capita. This graph is very interesting because Argentina, Brazil, and Chile are the biggest corrugated manufacturing producer, and will region has potential for growth, we think, based on a medium income level and the envelope structure. If you see here, we can have a low consumer per capita. Maybe in the next year, they can grow. Here, we can see the evolution of production throughout Latin America, including Mexico and Central America here in this graph, in the last 15 years. But South America, Brazil and the other countries, in total has detected that 60% of the market. We can see here the general economic data of date of the region. And also, South America is a relatively low population country, but the GDP per capita show an average income level with a lot of potential for growth. We think that. And see here for population of this country. And here we can see the production of cardboards with any country. For Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Peru, Chile, you have see here the ton of year consumer of container board and the square meter we produce for year. Now this is the evolution of the last 5 years. You can see we grow in all of them level. This is the evolution of the region. And here we can see two cases of analysis. This is South American corrugated box. We have here the situation of Argentina. We have a major economic crisis in the previous year, but we have a strong recovery last year, 2020. You can see the accumulated growth in the last 5 years, 6.73%. Brazil is another case. You can see here the evolution of the corrugated box board production in Brazil. In this case, Brazil had a certain political crisis, but sustained growth in our industry. They accumulated growth in the last 5 years, 13%. Well, this is the South American market share, the destination of boxes. Principal destination is about food products, meat, fish, milk products, and other foods. This is the most important. The main production in the region is food, which is mostly exported in boxes. This is our strong market. Well, I talk about, for the last moment, about the key points of corrugated today. Ecoeconomy or circular economy is most important. Environmental, economic, and political issues. This is the strong or very important thing for the decision in the company. The other important thing is e-commerce. You know, powered by the pandemic, we a new habit of shopping. We think for the last time, the unboxing experience is very important for the customer. We talk about the box is the store now, it's the new store. For industry, lower inventory level or flexible production, because different philosophy production, just in time or lean manufacturing, you know, everything to weight us, not add value for the production. Another important thing is weight reduction of corrugated boxes. All of us use in this time a light paper because the conversion of newsprint paper industry to make a container board paper. The right weight as a search from productive optimization, which needs to save the cost and is a response to environmental and sustainability issues. Another important thing is the envelope of structural design. New box designer and the importance of the attractive boxes. Some tips for the industry to things in this time. The position of the corrugated cardboard box in the mind of the consumer. Sustainability as a strategic focus. Find a new niche and a new segment for the boxes. This is important. We talk about that. Where is the e-commerce growth going? What is the destination of this tendency? And the importance of design in boxes. Some conclusion. Corrugated cardboard will continue to be the packaging material by excellence. Market trends will become strong and positive for the industry. Printing system and their costs, in one of conference talk about this, will be essential for expansion into the new segment. The industry should focus on ensuring the sustainability of the material, you know, the system, the chain of custody system. Last, the box have to be aesthetical appearance to promote sales. This is the important change. The box, because the box contains the products as it's loaded with feeling of happiness. This is important. We transport a feeling of happiness. Well, this is, I finish with this. This is a few presentation. We continue. Ivy, this is your time. Present the 2020 SinoCorrugated.
Yes, thanks, Mariano. The second part is about to introduce SinoCorrugated 2021. Yes, as you know, the development of an epidemic has not allowed international visitors to travel to China. Red exhibitions as the world leading organizers will present to all kinds of programs alongside SinoCorrugated so that international visitors can join in remote and improve the visiting experience. So this time, let's welcome the second speaker, Mr. Patrick Gu, the International Sales Manager of Red Exhibitions, to introduce the SinoCorrugated 2021. Patrick.
Hello, everyone. This is my great honor to have me here to present the very brief introduction about the SinoCorrugated 2021. And actually, in the following time, I will share with my screen and let you all your guys what we will do in this kind of the pandemic situation. I hope everyone can see my screen. Okay, to be honest, after some long-term partnership with the CAFCCo, so we developed ourselves very steadily, and actually this year is our 20th anniversary. So especially this kind of very tough time, everyone knows that the world was affected by the COVID-19. So we have a very strong and new slogan. So it's called the Repack for a New Future. Yeah, back to the 20 years before we start our business in the corrugated industry. And on that time, we only have 3 exhibitors, which can be only booked over the 100 square meters. And we only have 16 equipment exhibitors on site. And after the 20 years development, this year we have already got 100 exhibitors who can be booked in the exhibit around maybe over 100 square meters. And alongside with these so leading players, we also have the nearly 200 global and also from the Asia Pacific equipment to be launched on site. And we also in our whole N5, we have a very, very impressive national pavilions from different regions and from every corners of the world. And totally, we will have over 1,800 equipment which will be shown on site, alongside with over 1,000 consumables providers will also join us on that time. Yes, as I mentioned, after the 20 years development, we built our converting business as a universe. So we call it a packaging universe. So we start the business of the corrugated. And after that, we have a universe like what you have seen on the screen. We have a 7-theme project, which will cover the whole supply chain of the converting industry. And now it's a time I would like to share with you some detailed information about these 7 theme shows. You can see the floor plan we launched this year in Shanghai. So besides the SinoCorrugated, I think most of you are very familiar with this show. It's a very, very famous and well-known platform for all the global providers who can do the business on site, only focus on the corrugated industry. And besides that, we also have a Cartón 2021. It's a very professional show, emphasis on the printing and the post-printing equipment. And besides that, we also have a FlexPack. It's a new launch. We start this business maybe 5 years before. It's not only because we want to not only focus on the paper packaging industry, because we also want to reach to some flexible packaging industry as well. So that's the reason why we also couple with some very local, well-known associations, as well as we have a support from our overseas companies, try to find more business opportunity in the flexible packaging as well. And after that, most of you and all of us are very know that the digital printing is a very state-of-the-art technology. It's very popular among the packaging industry. So in this case, we decide to put this very niche segment out of the SinoCorrugated systems. So we launched this digital printing equipment as a new show, alongside with all the converting shows. And the 5th show is Sino Paper. It's more related to raw materials, because after we say a lot about the processing machinery sectors, we also hope to build a whole converting supply industry. It means we should also focus on the upstream of the whole industry. So that's the reason why we also couple with some local associations, media, and industry experts, trying to find more leading paper traders from the global market. So that's the reason why we have some leading providers from every corners of the world to gather together to launch these very impressive shows alongside with the corrugated as well. And after that, every corners of the world are very have a great importance to say we want to build a very intelligent processing management, and we have a concept of the smart factory, and we want to know and we want to take advantage of the industry 4.0 concept to run our business more smarter. So that's the reason why we developed the business.
Aqui e tenho... eu cortei. Ótimo, mute.
Regarding this intralogistics and process management export, which will give all our converters and a very advanced way to know how to run the business more intelligent. So the last but not the least, we also have our downstream shows, which focus on the packaging containers. It's a finished goods related shows because after we have a show reach to the upstream and we have a show in the middle stream, we will also have a show to the downstream. So here's the floor plan. You can see we have already occupied 10 halls with these 7 projects. So for you guys, you will ask me a question, why we should visit and why even this in the COVID-19 area, in the COVID-19 situation, we are limited by the travel restriction and to do some quarantines. So it's also worthy for us to pay a visit to the SinoCorr. The answer is because you can see our scale, we have a very leading suppliers and exhibitors. And we have a lot of qualified trade visitors from the global market. And we have a lot of advanced equipment shown on site. So that's all you guys should pay attention to the SinoCorr. Whatever from the physical ways, you can also join us in the online internet. Yeah, this is some brief, some highlights about the SinoCorr, what you will see in the SinoCorr 2021.
Esse daqui é o que? Brilho ou é som?
Brilho.
Som tá aqui então. Ah, dá para você dar um F1 aqui também.
Please give me some minute to show a short video about the SinoCorrugated 2019. Brief back about how we strong 2 years before and how we will do in the 2 years after.
Patrick, you don't have sound. Patrick, you don't have audio. Please, if you try to talk something.
Lorenzo, can you hear the voice? Can you hear the sound?
We haven't.
So sorry guys, maybe because of some technical issue, you cannot to hear some sound, but don't worry, I will let my marketing guys everywhere send out all the audio materials if you would like be interested later, okay? So this is a slide to show how many brands join us for over 20 years. So you can see a lot of the I think part of them you are very familiar with that. Some overseas brands like the Sun Automation and EFI and BHS, Postberg, and Dongfang Group as well. Yeah, besides the SinoCorr exhibitions itself, we also have a lot of attractive on-site events as well. You can see we have a different theme to launch these on-site events. We have events on focus on the raw material, on the regarding the digital printing, regarding the downsizing efficiency, and regarding the intelligent technology, regarding the overseas investment, regarding the merger and acquisition, and regarding the enterprise promotion, and the integrated packaging solutions as well. And but the most important, I want all your experts pay attention to is the World Corrugated Awards 2021. It's the most, we think it's a very influential event we want to build in the global market. The World Corrugated Awards is initiated by the real exhibitions, and the World Corrugated Awards are one of the international events sponsored by suppliers of the corrugating industry. And the awards are designed to select the most pioneering cases for the year in design, marketing, management, and social responsibility all over the world. And it will reward cartoon enterprises, teams, individuals who have made a prominent contributions to the development of the global corrugated industry. And at the same time, it also provides a high-end communication platform to jointly explore and innovate the contemporary corrugated business landscape as well. So the WCA event in 2021 is the second edition we launched in Shanghai. The first edition is we should back to 2 years before in 2019. And on that time, we have already collected over 16 cases, very typical and successful cases from the global market. And finally, we have maybe around 6 to 8 winners who win the titles of the WCA events. So I will, this is a, wait a minute. Sorry, maybe I cannot open the file in the slides, but don't worry, I will also let Abby to send out the form and some bio introduction about the WCA. It will help all your experts to know how can you join the WCA. Even you cannot pay a visit personally on site, you can also join us online because you can nominate some typical cases from your members and from yourself to show us how leading and how advanced the technology and solutions you can provide to the corrugated industry. So you will say because even some of you are not open the camera, I can assume that maybe some of you or most of you are work at home and stay at home. So you will say, in this case, how can we support your events? Yes, that's the question. So here's the answer. Because we do a lot of digital ways to show our overseas exhibitors and clients. Because this year we have a new concept. We named it a hybrid show. The hybrid show will be the new format to combine with the physical show and the digital solutions. And this year we will have this 6 ways. I think, yes, it's a 6 ways to do our hybrid show. The first of all is our virtual expo, and the second one is live webinar like the one we are running now. And also we will have the online matchmaking meeting, and we will have a running man who will do the business between the suppliers, exhibitors, with the buyers from the camera. I mean from you guys. So we will also have some scene the online guided tool, and we will also do some exhibitor interview to make all our leading exhibitors exploded in the global corrugated industry. I would like to select one of them to show because it's very highlights. It's our corrugated life. It's a virtual expo. And we have already run the first edition in this January. And on that time, we only focus on the domestic market. And we invite over eight maybe sets of the local providers, I mean the exhibitors, to join the corrugated life, the domestic industry. Yes. And after that, we have a plan to launch another edition, which is especially focused on the global market. So the plan will be settled maybe around May before the show, because all of you guys know we have the show in July. So we have a virtual expo maybe 2 months before our physical shows. It should be around May. So we are now working on some detailed materials about this corrugated life, this kind of the virtual expo. So once some materials will be available. I will share with all you guys to know how to join us in this kind of new ways of the SinoCorrugated exhibitions. Here's just some steps and some simple pictures to let you know what we will do and what we have done in January and what we will do in this May. So that's all I would like to share with you. So it's very brief introduction because I know most of you are very familiar with our branding, and our success cannot be available without all your endorsement and support. So whatever the situation is, how it be developed, so everyone will be stay safe and stay healthy. And I'm looking forward to meeting with you face to face, maybe several times later. So okay, so that's all I would like to present to about our SinoCorrugated exhibitions. So I would like to hand over to Mariano. So please keep on and keep going this kind of successful webinars. Hi Mariano, it's your time.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Thank you very much for the presentation. We could have a little clearer importance of the SinoCorrugated. I think a very good show for all of us. Well, we continue to the presentation. Viviana, we start with the presentation with Viviana Sayek. She's going to talk about the innovation and the sustainability development of corrugated box board. Viviana Sayek, Viviana, hello, are you here?
Yes, hello, good morning.
Patrick, please give out your presentation, please, Patrick.
Okay, sorry.
Please, thank you. Well, Viviana is a technical director of Liquid Ink Latin America of SinoCorrugated, Science 2030. SinoCorrugated is a leading company in the area of linking inks, pigment, and other products for the graphic and the corrugated industry. As part of your responsibility, Viviana dedicates much of her time to the dissemination, the most innovation technology. I'm sure it will be a pleasure for all of us to listen to her. Viviana, if you want, start.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you listen to me, right?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. So first, thank you for the Bureau of Corrugated Board Manufacturers to inviting us to show you all the innovation and sustainable growth portfolio that we have. As you know, SinoCorrugated is part of the IC group, a Japanese group, and it's present worldwide. So thank you very much for the opportunity. I will share some of the innovations that we have. So we will talk about trends at the beginning. Then we will talk, about inks with biorenewable content, functional materials, inks and coatings for direct food contact. And at the end of the presentation, we will talk about compostable solutions. So let me, the idea of the presentation is to show you how we can switch from a linear economy where we take a raw material or a resource, we change or modify it or manufacture a package, and then after we use the content of this package, we dispose it and we turn it into waste. This is the kind of linear economy that we are used to work with. Now, the idea is to switch to a circular economy where we can use some of these packages or packaging that is finished his first use into a second way of manufacturing a packaging. So this is to switch to a circular economy. This concept of circular economy was introduced by Helen MacArthur Foundation, and in SinoCorrugated, we embrace this kind of idea. So how we can increase or support the circular economy? by reducing the packaging or reducing the use of plastic. This is reducing the thickness or the layers that we have in the packaging, improving the recycling of a package with a mono-component material, let's say it's only board and biorenewable inks, for example, or mono-component packages as, for example, PEP in the flexible packaging. So the idea is this presentation to see how we can improve this circular economy. Also allowing composting and biodegradation of the packaging, reducing the packaging waste that is creating during the printing process, and thinking about how will be the life cycle of the product from the beginning of the packaging to the end of his life. And also to have packaging cost considerations, because most of the consumers are worried about compostability and sustainability, but very little of our consumers are willing to pay for packaging having kind of characteristics. So the idea is to use ours
Viviana, I think you have a sound. So sorry, I think Viviana had some problem because she's in her holidays. Maybe she have a bad connection. Wait for a few minutes, please. We just continue with her. We try to just wait. We try to solution this problem. Just a minute. Presentación. We try to wait a minute, please. No. Admitila que está. Maybe you can. Okay, Viviana, you can continue, please. Not have a sound.
Can you listen to me?
Yes, yes, perfect now.
Sorry, this is a technical problem. It's
Yeah, we know that.
Perfect. I will continue, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Sorry for the interruption.
Yes, yes, sorry for that.
The idea is during these 20 years, SinoCorrugated has been working to offer different kind of solutions. Let me come back to my presentation. Here it is. Offering different kind of barrier coatings as protective and oxygen barriers, UV.
Yeah. So sorry, Viviana.
Yes.
Put
Yes.
again the, yes, put the share screen, please, again, because we lost the presentation.
Okay, let me share it again.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry. This is what I was afraid of, and it's happening. I'm sorry. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes, perfect.
Okay, let's go ahead. So the idea is we have been working during these 20 years with different barrier and functional coatings to protect the package from UV light, oxygen barrier, grease, and different kind of attacks that the packaging can have. And also in parallel, we have been promoting different initiatives as biosource ink and varnishes. We will talk about high biorenewable content ink and varnishes, inks and varnishes made by recycled materials, solutions to allow compostability and repulpability. And these kind of offers are for the whole range of printing processes, as flexo, gravure, offset, screen, water-based, solvent-based, digital, UV. And also we have been working very hard for global color management. This is a way to save a lot of resources. So we can do digitally all the quality control and the matching of inks. And working also in anti-counterfeiting and tamper-resistant products. So it's a long history of sustainability initiatives. Now, how are the trends? The trends that we see in the market are several trends to reduce the plastic waste. So for example, all kinds of packagings that currently are made with plastic, we see in the market that we will switch them for corrugated, micro-corrugated, and board and paper packaging. So we think that there are new opportunities for board and paper solutions to reduce the plastic waste. This is very interesting for our market. And also another trend we see is to change a recyclable package from packages that were not designed to be recycled. So for example, this kind of package where we see that it's a lamination, to change it for a paper or board package to reduce the plastic use. So now we are going to talk about functional materials, and the idea is to show you that there are two kinds of functional coatings that we will present during this presentation. The first part is a product that will protect the packaging itself, meaning that we will need to protect the packaging from water, liquids, oils, and greases. For example, if we manufacture a paper cup, as it is a trend to replace a paper cup with a PE layer extruded on top, outside and inside the cup, we will see that we need to protect the paper cup from the water or the liquid that it's inside. So the idea is that we can use a barrier coating that will protect this material from being attacked by the liquid and lose the opportunity to be a cup. So the idea is to protect the packaging itself. But we have another part of the portfolio which is designed to protect the packed goods, meaning that we need to protect, for example, an hamburger box from the grease that the hamburger has and avoid that the packaging will become stained with this. So the idea of functional coatings and adhesives is to improve the shelf appeal and the shelf life of the product while reducing the film layers and the weight of the package, and also protecting the food to avoid food waste. So if we see the portfolio that we are going to talk, here we have several parts of the portfolio. We will focus on sandbar, which is oxygen barrier, UV light barrier, gas barrier adhesive. We have, for example, oxygen barrier adhesive, and MVTR varnishes, which are moisture vapor barriers. And also we have another part of the portfolio, which is SunStar for grease and water resistance. And for example, Vista Clear, which is an anti-mist coating. So the idea to show you this kind of products is that we can give through varnishes and coatings different functionalities to a board or a corrugated box packaging to improve the shelf life, reduce the film layers and the food waste, and also allowing compostability and repulpability. So the idea is now to look into the paper and board packaging. The first thing we would like to talk is about SunStar, for example, which is a functional direct food contact varnishes that are water and grease resistant to protect the paper packaging. So the idea is that we can reduce the polyethylene usage through a coating, which is a water-based coating, meaning that the solvent that we use is water. It is designed and manufactured for direct food contact. It is grease and water resistant and oil resistant, and it has the ability to seal varnish against varnish or by varnish against board. So we can seal it, and we don't need a heat seal varnish or a PE layer to seal the package. And it's also gluable and overprintable. So we can overprint the coatings and has a complete packaging with the ink and everything on top of it. So it is a replacement of plastic containers or liners which require a PE coating or a wax coating as a paraffin coated or laminated films. So this is a way to replace rigid plastic and extruded plastic on top of the board, which is very difficult to recycle. So these coatings, which are direct food contact barrier coatings, shows water and grease resistance. They retain the repulpability and the composting properties for the natural fibers that we can have in a package. So going ahead in this kind of coatings, we have water and grease resistance coating for the food carton industry. These are commercial coatings which are formulated to provide a resistance to the paper and the board, which are cost effective, gluable, heat sealable, and they can resist blocking. They don't have any blocking problems, and they are repulpable and recyclable, reducing the carbon footprint or any other kind of packaging which contains plastics that cannot be separated from the board to be recycled. So these are a more sustainable option, replacing a polyboard box or extruded PE paper cup, for example, or other kind of boards which contain waxes or plastic liners. So these are coatings which do not contain any fluorochemical compound, or they don't have any plastic that should be separated. They are FDA compliant, so we can look for different market segments, as we can see here, to replace other kind of plastic or rigid packaging. So here we can show different examples of how we can switch different kind of packagings that are used. For example, the first example here, it's a paper cup, which is designed with a barrier coating inside to resist the content of the liquid that is going to be contained. And outside, we can use the same barrier coating. For example, if we make a cup for a refrigerated or a cold beverage, we can have a condensation outside. So the idea is that we need to have the coating inside and outside. And then we can also use aqua green, which is a high biorenewable content water-based ink. So we can have a complete solution which will be compostable and repurposable. Then we can have also here, for example, a micro corrugated box, which can be printed here inside with AquaSafe ink, which is a direct food contact ink, and a coating also for direct food contact. And outside we can use either aqua green or an overprint varnish to protect the box. Other kind of boxes that can be done in the folded carton segment is this kind of, for example, cookies box, which can be printed with Sunpack Organic, which is a sheet-fed ink for direct food contact, or a coating inside to protect the box from grease or fat that is inside the box and the cookies or whatever kind of food that we have it packaged there. And in the outside part, we can use low migration inks, or we can use different kind of coatings that will allow the ink to be protecting the packaging. And in the last part here, we can see different kind of paper packaging as paper bags or flow pack, sticks and pouches that can be printed with aqua green, which is, as I mentioned, a high biorenewable content ink, or a solvent-based ink, which has OK Compost certificate and different kind of barrier coatings. So there are a huge variety of options every time that we want to switch from a non-compostable or non-biodegradable package to a more friendly with the environment. So talking about how we can print a kind of package that will be in contact with food, we have two kind of ink lines that are suitable to be in contact with food, which is Sunvisto AquaSafe, which is an ink line, a water-based ink line defined to be in contact with food that is suitable to print, for example, inside the vegetables box or for paper straws. So these are direct contact technology. Also to print, for example, in sheet fed offset, we can show Sunpack Organic, which is direct food contact sheet fed ink that enables paper and boards to be printed for with fully compliant of European regulations for direct food contact, and also in the case of paper straws for skin contact. And these are based on a selection of pigments that offer a range color gamut that is available in the market, and they offer also high resistance properties required for these applications. So the idea is to retain the repulpability and the composting properties of natural fibers, either for rigid packaging or for flexible packaging. In the case of rigid packaging, we have, for example, all boxes for frozen, fresh, and processed foods, trays for fruits and vegetables, dry foods, packages as rice, couscous, sugar, different kind of food that will be packaged, and also takeaway trays and boxes for cold or hot food. In the part of the flexible packaging, we have all kind of paper, flow packs, day packs, sachets, sticky packs, which are made or can be made from paper or board as disposable tabletops or cups, straws on tablecloth, dry powder food, sugar, different kind of packaging for frozen food and pet food, and also food and flowering wrapping. So I think that the opportunities that we have in this market segment are huge, and that the future will see that we can do in paper and corrugated board a lot of packagings that were made with plastics. So replacement of plastic and paper plastic composites packaging will be paper with barrier coating solutions in the future. So talking about paper and film, we can think about sandbar aeroblock, which are oxygen barrier coatings, which add oxygen barrier to, we can use it for films like polyester, polypropylene, polyethylene, but also we can use them on paper. They can protect ALOX or COX treatment on polyesters or metallized layers because they are brittle, and when you hand the package, you can break this barrier, but also it can give oxygen barrier to a paper structure, as we can see in this slide. For example, in this test, we took different kind of papers, as we can see here, A, B, C, and D, from a barrier coating of oxygen barrier, which is named in the community as OTR, with a very bad OTR, to a combination of primer, aeroblock, which is the barrier coating, and an overprint varnish, and we can give a very good oxygen barrier and replace some packaging that is made with other kind of materials with a combination of this primer, coating, and so this is very interesting because it's a new technology, and we can give oxygen barrier to paper packaging, significantly improve what we have in the past. One point that we want to make very clear is that this is very dependent on the quality of the substrate. So meaning that if we have a very bad corrugated material, which is very porous, or it's not very smooth on the surface, the barriers that we will obtain will be worse. So it's important to mention that we can give this barrier through this combination, but it's important to mention or pay attention to the quality of the paper. This oxygen transmission rate is measured in cubic centimeters by square meter of package a day. And these are made at 23 centigrades and 50% of relative humidity. So we can, for example, think about doing a box which contains an oxygen barrier combination, and it will not contain any plastic. Also, we can go through a combination of barrier coatings and that will give us a water and grease barrier, which products that are designed and manufactured for direct food contact, which are heat sealable and retain the repulpability and compostability behavior or let's say virtue of a paper package, with a MVTR barrier coating, which will give a humidity or vapor resistant. Okay, so in talking about vapor resistant MVTR, this also we have a vapor block barrier that we can see here. So this is very useful in the case of papers, for example, for a paper bag as a cement bag or a sugar bag, which are made with 2 layers of paper and 1 layer of a very thin polyethylene layer in the middle to show that the package has an MVTR barrier. But we can use a barrier coating to give a certain vapor barrier to the package. This is also very dependent on the substrate quality that we are using, and the dry deposit that we need for that is between 5 to 10 grams per square meter of dry deposit of the coating that we are proposing. So if we go ahead, another trend that we saw and we are seeing very hard is a biosourced content in the inks, for example. So when we want to show that we have a high biorenewable content in the ink, we determine that by a carbon dating analysis. So we can see if the carbon that we use in the ink is from a fossil source or it is from from a natural source, a younger carbon, let's say. So these initiatives are made to reduce the carbon footprint associated with the carbon warming or the global warming. So this will decrease the carbon footprint of the ink. So for that, we designed Aqua Green, which is a high biorenewable content ink, which is designed for paper, board, and polyethylene printing. It is protected by a patent. And we initially introduced this for fast food packaging, but then it was extended to other segments. It's an ink line which is based on plant-derived resins as starch or other raw materials. It shows a high biorenewable content on the vehicle or the technical varnish we use to blend with the dispersions. And it has a very good resistance for rub, abrasion, water resistance, and grit resistance. It's blendable with our current dispersions that will color the inks. So this is driving us to use a high biorenewable content ink and coatings to reduce the carbon footprint. And also for the corrugated board applications, we have an ink line which is named Aquapack, designed for preprint or post-print corrugated applications, which it's also blendable with our dispersions, and it has a very good printability and resolvability at press. So this is a leading application of inks with high biorenewable content, suitable for food packaging applications. And we continue working on the research of raw materials with high biorenewable content, because this is something that is continuously evolving. So also, if our printers of folded carton or corrugated cartons use an offset sheet fed application, we have inks that are vegetable based. It contains vegetable oils, and it contains a high biorenewable content. So we can use in this kind of packaging eco labels as this Nordic swan and the equals too. So this is another way to improve the carbon footprint. So now we are going to talk about compostability. And why we are going to talk about compostability? Because this is a very good, well-established and growing model of ending the life of a packaging. The idea is that the packaging can be composed either in a home compost application or an industrial application to be integrated into the circular model. It's a simple and practical way to end the useful life of a packaging, and it's an alternative to a landfill, which is unsustainable, or to a recycling process, which sometimes is not available in our places or not convenient for the environment. So the idea is to ensure that the packaging will show compostability properties to allow the packaging to be included in a home or an industrial composting process, and to turn the package into organic compost to be used to grow trees and plants. So the sustainable attributes for a packaging is now a major focus for brand owners. So the idea is that some chemical can show different kind of inks, for example, solvent-based inks, adhesives, barrier coatings, and water-based inks, all showing OK Compost certificate. This is a growing portfolio of sustainable options for redesigning the packaging. So we can either use an ink line which has a OK Compost certificate, for example, to make a laminated structure as a Solimax, combined with a proper compostable films and an adhesive that shows this property. Or we can use a water-based ink for example, a paper cup and a barrier coating. And this will retain the compostability in the finished package. So this OK Compost certification is given by a third lab, an independent lab. For example, we use TUV in Austria, or Vinsot in Belgium, or DIN in Germany. These are the labs that will give us this kind of certificate for OK Compost, home or industrial. And we can show different kind of ink lines for paper and board, or for polyethylene films, or for napkins and tissues, or different kind of applications. And in the case of PE corrugated, in the case of corrugated board, we have aqua green. And also we have been working with the North American portfolio to have the certificates. So this is a comprehensive range of solvent and water-based inks for compostable and biodegradable packaging. So to start wrapping up the presentation, we have many ways to embrace sustainable solutions for the packaging. And as we review here, we can focus them on different perspectives. So we can reduce the amount of waste, either in the final life of the package or during the printing process. We can improve the packaging biotransformation. We can improve the recyclability of the package. We can use a biorenewable source of raw materials, or we can design the package in a more sustainable way. All these green options are useful to reduce our impact on the environment, and all of them are okay. So this depends on the customer and which is their focus to work on these green initiatives. So the idea is, if we have time for questions, I'm open to that. The idea is to focus our efforts in sustainability, in reuse, renew, reduce, recycle, and redesign. And I want to close this conversation with these closing ideas. We have all these small changes are better than staying quiet, even if these changes are not perfect, but going in the right direction. So we need to start thinking cyclically instead of linearly. That was the way that we were thinking about packaging in the last years. Develop and innovate responsibly. Convenience for the packaging and sustainability are not opposites idea. We need to introduce the sustainable packaging in a way that we can help the environment, and also have a better responsibility on the final use of the packaging. So we need to observe the challenges from different points of view. And these are the final messages. We do not need one hero to do all the changes alone. We need every one of you to do small changes in the right sense, because we think that together we can change the world during all these changes in our packaging. So this was the presentation we prepared. We think that the packaging needs to be sustainable, and we will find the power of this sustainable packaging in the future during all these changes together. So thank you very much for the time, and I hope that you find this presentation interesting. Thank you, Mariana.
Viviana, well, thank you very much, Viviana. It's excellent. Always, I listen to you. I discover how interesting is to listen to you. Well, you're listening, yeah. Well, thank you very much. After then, at the finish of the presentation, you have all of slides of presentation. Well, we continue now with Gustavo Breyer. Gustavo, you are here?
Yes, I am.
Well, thank you very much. We see well. Well, Gustavo talk about economic of corrugated board industry. Gustavo is an economics and consultant specialist in the economics of paper and corrugated cardboard. He's young, but he has worked for 3 decades with paper and corrugated cardboard company in Argentina and different countries in Latin America. Since he's a mathematical and economic training, this is your style of think, and he has been able to make his contribution that but he will describe for us, for all of us. Finally, he usually mentioned it is always possible we can contribute and learn more. Just we'll try this. Well, Gustavo?
Yes.
So sorry. Viviana, so sorry. Viviana, you can share out the screen, please. Viviana? Fíjate, por favor. Just a minute, Gustavo.
Yes, of course.
So that's already.
Okay, let me see now. If I share a screen, yes. Here, share. It's okay?
It's okay, perfect.
Perfect. Let me see, put this in this way. Okay. Well, Juanal, good morning. Thank you for Re-Exhibition and CAFCCo for inviting us to do this presentation. We are from papiro.com. We are a software company providing products for the cardboard industry. Let me see if I am in the right pick. Okay. We are talking about the application of economic concepts to the corrugated cardboard industry. As I said before, we are a software company, but we have three components. We put together economy, mathematical programming, and software skills. And by doing our work during these decades, we were having some conclusions, and we think that we can give the sector some ideas that we try to give to all of you. We would like to see the sector as a whole. The society is demanding boxes, but they are deciding not to produce boxes as a whole, and they are willing to buy the boxes that we are doing. So we have that social need, and we have to supply the boxes in the best way possible. What means that? Well, it means that, for example, in our industry, we have to use the widest paper that our equipment allow us. Why? Because in that way, we are doing better our job. In the same fashion, to use the lowest possible paper weight regarding all the qualities that the client is expecting from our boxes. To have the least commercial scrap, to have the lowest possible setup times in the printing process. It means that if we have a larger order, is better than having a shorter one. To have the lowest possible freight cost, it's better to supply companies which are close to our facilities than having a long freight. That's very common in our sector to see that one provider from one city is providing a client in another city, and in the other way is the same. So something looks irrational in some way. And in the same fashion, so to have the lowest rejection rate possible. Every one of us can make a mistake. We are all the time making mistakes, but we have to minimize that human characteristic that we all have. So being this the situation and watching the reality in this fashion, what we realize is that we can give some ideas to the sector. And the first thing that we have done was a product, a traditional one, which is Pandora. Pandora is traditional because it helps the programmer to minimize scrape while combining the sheets in the width of the paper. So as a software providers, we are specialized in mathematical optimization, and we seek to collaborate on these guidelines. The guidelines were the topic that we were talking about just before. As far as we have seen, Pandora give the best results talking about minimizing the scrap in the market. Every company can check that if you want. That is for free, and we can receive a bunch of orders, the width of the papers, and return the combination that we would suggest by using Pandora. But apart from that, when the software is installed in the company, we would like to say that we try to make a team. In this team, we are providing the stronger calculation force, which is what Pandora can do, but it should be combined with the rationality, with the human skills of making decision to take the better part of the human and the better part from the machine working together. And to make it better, what we try to do is to give some information. All of we know that some sheets are more difficult to combine in some widths of papers, and some are easier. And it's not the same for every company, because different companies could have different paper widths. So what we give through the use of Pandora is not only the combination that you have to put 3 sheets of this order with 2 of these other during 2,000 meters, and so on and so off. But also we like to give economic information. This economic information in this case is called marginal value. This is a technical word. This value is represented in one unit that is very common for us, is grams per sheet of the box. So this is in order. We have in the upper part a negative number, -4. What means that? That means that if we are going to produce 1 box more of this order, we are going to save 5 grams of scrap. So we are producing more, and the scrap is lower. That's a lot. That's not a lot. It's true. It's 5 grams, but perhaps it could be 1% of the weight of the sheet. But on the other side, we have that a big sheet that has a scrap of 117 grams. What means perhaps 10% of the weight of the sheet. And we are talking about the main cost of a box paper. And we are talking about the fact that is very common in every company, that there is no differences in prices related to the size of the sheet. It's not common, and we insist that we have to do that, just to make the distribution of the orders all over the companies in a better way. What means that? That means that one company can do boxes better than the other, and vice versa. So in this path, which is to combine the orders that we have already sold in the corrugator, we have different options. We have different parameters. What we do is optimization, mathematical optimization. it conducts us to a solution which is the best. That means mathematical optimization, to give the best solution. If you have software that offer different alternatives based in the same order and same parameters, for sure they are using heuristics. It's okay, but it's worse than using mathematical optimization. And in this industry, every gram, every kilogram multiplied by the quantity of linear meters that are running in a corrugator is a huge quantity of money. So we have to reduce, just like Viviana said us before, and we have to do the things better, not only for us, but also for the society. But there is other option, which is to change parameters. For example, you can allow some tolerance in the quantities to give to the clients in each order. Or, for example, you can allow more scrap in a single combination. And in that way, you could have several solutions. In the screen, we are showing here the different solutions and a resume of each of one. And you can see the scrap of kilograms or the scrap in percentage. And you can make a decision. That's the point in where the team begin to work together to analyze the calculation with a human skill. But what has happened? We thought with year after year working on in our software and being aside the companies that we arrived late. What that means in this case? In this case, arrive late means that when you combined the sheets were already solved. So if the problem began in the commercial sector, the productive sector cannot solve it. So when we get that optimal solution, we are getting the optimal solution based on defined orders. Will the use of Pandora can have some influence in this topic? And the answer is yes. Why? Because those numbers that we were talking about before, which is the marginal values expressed in grams that we threw away per each sheet I am producing, could be applied in some discount or some recharge in the price of the quote that I gave to every company. In that way, I make possible to get the best sheets for me and in some way not have the advantage, the commercial advantage of getting an order that is not the best for my width of machine or papers. And there is other thing which we like to say that we are cheating playing solitaire when we sell some order, but afterwards, month after month, we know that we do an upgrade in that paper. So we are quoting a paper and we are giving the client other paper. And the reason is not that we are silly or we are too generous, but the reason is that once the order is sold and I have to combine it, it's better to combine it with a higher paper weight because it combines better. I cannot auto combine this sheet. So if it happens, it is in some way hidden cost, and we show this cost in Pandora. So what we have done based on that is to create a new software. It was not the only one reason, but if we follow a chain of reasoning, we can say that it's one of the topics that make us go further with this new software. So we elaborate other software, which is Procusto, that uses Pandora as an auxiliary for the corrugator programming. So the team now is bigger. It has a module for quotes. We realize with the time that quotes are very, very important because it's the stomach or the mouth of the company. We eat the orders that we have afterwards to produce. So once they are sold, we have to combine them, just as I said before. So it's very important for us to propose that the commercial people should understand what they are selling and which could be the difficulties afterwards in the plant, because we are all part of the same team. There is a problem that the sales commission don't pay attention to that. And apart from that, commercial person have an objective monthly to sell. So what they try to sell is as much as possible without regarding these productive issues. So they are in some way out of the team, but because the incentives move them out of the team. So the price should be the right one, because with the right price, I can transfer part of my productivity to the client, and also can pass part of my inefficiency to the client also. So the client could decide to buy that box from other company. Let us see this. This is real data. In this chart, we are showing in the vertical axis the price by which we are selling the boxes. In the horizontal one, we are showing the marginal value. What we should expect? We should expect that the higher the marginal value, the higher the price. Why? Because we are throwing away more paper. It could mean lower sales. Yes, it could be in the worst width of the sheet, but in the best width of the sheet, it's better. It's better for us, and in this way, we are being more productive, more efficient. There is two other more. In this way, price is still in the vertical axis, but in the horizontal axis are quantity of boxes of the order. We know, being in the industry, that the larger the order, the better for our productivity, because we combine better in the corrugator. We have set up times in once or not twice or three times, and even the freight. The freight also could be better if we send a full truck to a company, or half truck, or whatever. It could be better instead of sending little by little. So what we were expecting here, that the larger the order, the lower the price, because we are sharing our more productivity with our client in that way. And the last one, there's a couple, two more, but we are not showing those in this presentation. It's the urgency, the distance between the date where the order is placed and the moment they are waiting the boxes in the company, the delivered date. In that, you can see that the dots that are in the graphic are just in the same line. There is no a shape of going in this way. Here, what we would expect is that if someone is asking our order well in advance, that is an advantage for us, and we can give the quote some composition of this fact to help the client to make the things in the best way for us. So, later again, in South America, it's very common to be late. I don't know if you know about that, but it's just a joke in any case. When we buy our equipment set, perhaps we are not the rational person that we expect to be, but sometimes emotions impact on us. For example, a very beautiful machine with huge quantity of colors and huge velocity, and apart from that, nice, could compel us to buy one machine, but perhaps without paying much attention to the market that we call attacked having this machine. So in some way, we are going past a step more. We must understand our market, including customers and competitors, because the competitor for us, the other company selling boxes, could be our collaborator also. If we see ourselves as a sector, we can benefit from one to each other working together. I'm not talking about stop competing, not at all, but we can compete and collaborate. We are going to see a movie now regarding that point. We must understand the role of our company in relation to the chain, to the production chain. For example, I can think that a very wide corrugator is very good because I have more possibilities to combine. But if I buy a corrugator expecting to have a paper of 3 meters width, I'm going to have a problem with the container, and my freight is going to be more expensive, and perhaps the scrap of the paper machine is higher. So we must understand that we are a link in a chain. We must know how to answer the question. This is very important. The question is, which is our ideal box to produce efficiently, more efficient than others? So I can orientate our market towards these boxes and realize if the size of the market is good enough for us. Perhaps it's too short. The last point is that each company is different from the other. And just one will be able to make the box better based on quality, price, and freight. Perhaps it's not one, two, or three, but if we analyzed mathematically with optimization, for sure, if a company that is not the best producing this box, all we are losing something. So what we have done is to make other software. Is the things that we can do software. It's our apport for the society. So we elaborate Prometeo that uses Procusto and Pandora, one member more for the team, one player more, to feed itself with data, because it's a huge quantity of data. Every order, every paper, every machine, the relationship among them, the marginal values we were talking about. And based on that, it has make part of other team, which is the person in charge of seeing the whole company. It's not just programming the corrugators, to see the whole company, to analyze big decisions, and has a team member helping him to make very quickly very difficult calculations. It has structural information of the company. It allows to carry out a global analysis and understand where is the profitability of our company. It allows to evaluate globally, being able to observe the detailed product by product and customer by customer, for example. It's very common to listen to some managers in a industry saying that they are doing that box because that client asked for us to produce several others, and as a whole, it's convenient. Well, finally, here we are offering a tool to analyze is this concept of this situation is really in this way. And it allows us to identify bottlenecks and value them with the same tool, marginal values, but with other unit. In that fashion, we can say that we are going from the perfect box that we were expecting to the not perfect boxes that we are producing at our facilities. So here is a screen of Prometeo, and here is a column showing the marginal values. In each of these lines, what I'm seeing is how much could I win if in any monetary value is different for any country. For example, for some countries, 2,000 is a crazy thing. For other, is not. But let us compare numbers without paying attention to the real impact in our own coin, in our own money. And I can see that, for example, if I have the possibility to produce more of this box, that's not that appealing for me. Perhaps this is quite more, but look at this. Here, this number is showing me how much I'm going to win if I have a biggest corrugator. It could be faster corrugator, or to have more hours working at my corrugator per day, if it is not the case of 24 hours, of course. And rapidly, I can make my conclusion that instead of making more power my cell force, I may do an effort in investing in my corrugator. This is just an example, but it's very interesting in this interaction in the team, because the software thinks between brackets differently than us. So one can keep thinking why the software is doing that. And after several seconds, minutes, hours, days, realizes that, or even if it's a mistake, we are also making mistakes, or it's a good idea that we didn't realize. And here, well, it's some presentation. It's how much I'm selling of each product or anything, but you can do some graphs to some charts to simplify the analysis of the numbers. So let us see this movie that it's not the whole movie, fortunately for you. It's a good movie in any case, but it's A Beautiful Mind. It's a life of a Nobel Prize, John Nash, which talk a lot about the things that we were talking about during these minutes. And well, I hope you can get the message.
Gustavo no tiene sonido. So sorry, they haven't sound.
Okay, let me see. A ver. This is okay. Perhaps I have to share the sound. Yes, it should be that one. Share sharing. There should be a way to share the sound. Let me see. Well, if
You're saying, okay, Gustavo, so sorry, maybe we try one more time. Maybe then we
here it is. I
Okay.
found it. I found it.
Good.
Let me see if I share again. Advanced. No. Well, in any case, perhaps I put the movie and I try to translate it. Stop share. Share screen. Basic screen. Share. Is the sound there?
No.
No. Well, they are watching that appears a very beautiful blonde woman, and they are talking about machos, South American machos, in spite of being American boys in the 40s. And they are talking about Adam Smith saying that each one looking for their own benefit is benefiting the whole society. So John Nash is thinking about that, and he thinks that the things should be different. They are still talking, but he's thinking. And he says that Adam Smith needs a correction. He says, see, if every one of us go to the blonde girl, they will block each other, and everyone lose the blonde. Afterwards, they're going for friends, but they don't like to be a second option. So they leave, and everyone got nothing. They got not the blonde, not the other. But what happens if everyone go to the other girls instead of going to the blonde? In that way, he's saying that everyone won, and because they can light tonight. No, it's a movie. So he said, Adam Smith is saying that the best result come from everyone in the group doing the best for himself. And he said that that is incomplete. That is incomplete because the best result is not only paying attention to every part of the group, but for the whole group. The others say if it is a Trump to get with the blonde, he can go out. And he said Adam Smith was wrong. Well, he's now into thank the blonde, and the blonde doesn't understand anything. My first time doing the script of a movie. I hope you have enjoyed. So which is why I put this this movie, because this is not new in economy. It's an old branch of the economy, but we are not paying that much attention to that part of the economy. It's not communism; it's capitalism. But talking about game theory, which is the invention of John Nash, and he said that if we pay attention that we are part of a group, and we regard the different situations where we make a decision, we can be better all together. All together we can be better. In which way? If I quote an order too high, I can lose a client. If I quote too low, I can lose money. But if I quote correctly, I'm doing the best work for me and for the society. So this is the final message. If we win in efficiency, we generate a surplus. A surplus. This surplus could be distributed among all of us. It could be a higher revenue for the company, a lower price, high salaries, more taxes, anything. But we all together nowadays are losing that surplus. Altogether, we win to the inefficiency. That's our message. That's the tools that we would like to create and the way we suggest to use them. That's why we have done Pandora first, Procusto afterwards, and finally Prometeo, and we will see if we are still late as a good Latin American citizen. Well, thank you a lot. I hope you have enjoyed the presentation.
Well, thank you very much, Gustavo. Thank you a lot.
Thanks, Gustavo. Thanks. Invited by Red Exhibitions, today we will welcome two speakers from China. Mr.
Yes.
Steven Liu, Deputy Director of Sales and Trend Corporation, and Mr. Max Tan, International Sales at WonderJet. So as a technological sales for more than 10 years, Steven has rich experience of whole mail layout planning, process designing logistic solutions of materials handling for pulp and paper and industry and the corrugated industry. In his session, he will share with us the trend solutions about how to reduce manpower, improve automation and efficiencies of materials handling and auto warehouse. Thanks, Steven. Please share your screen. Thank you.
Thank you. Shenxia.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Let me share the screen. Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Steven Liu from Trend Corporation. First, thanks CAFCCo to give us the opportunity to make the presentation here. Now let me introduce intelligent automation solutions of intralogistics for cotton and paperboard. My presentation have three parts. Firstly is the development direction of material handling, and second one is what we are doing now, and the third one is our company introduction. So the first one, the development direction. As we talked a lot, the development direction of material handling is intelligence. I think maybe all you know this, but do you know what is intelligence? Intelligence is equipment and control. No, we think this is just only automatic. Intelligence should have the brain and the neural network. Brain is a database and algorithm, and the neural network is data acquisition. That means the all kinds of sensors. So we got the definition of intelligent logistics as following. The intelligent logistics uses integrated intelligent technology to make logistics system imitate human intelligence and have the ability of thinking, perceiving, learning, reasoning, and judging, as well as solve some problems in logistics by itself. The key of the intelligent logistics is make full use of the existing resource efficiency through the Internet of Things, and the integration of logistics information. Intelligent logistics is the key link connecting supplier, storage, manufacturing, and customers. It is the chassis and the core of the smart factory. Intelligent logistics not only including the material flow, and also includes the information flow. Both are same important. For the development trend, we take China, for example. Today's paper corrugated industry, like the pulp and the paper industry 10 years ago, is constantly seeking integration and will gradually develop to a new old, dominated by group company or large companies. development direction of individual enterprises. First is they are going to expanding company scales, improve production capacity, purchase in batches to reduce cost and form price advantage and dominate the market. The second is intellectualization. So we are improve automation, reduce loss, and reduce production cost. So for the large company, they will be large, and for small company, it is difficult for survive if they don't innovate. So the situation brings both opportunities and challenges. The company should improve its competitive edge to win the market. The level of automation and intellectualization of in-plant logistics in corrugated industry is relatively low, but in recent years, the demand is strong, showing a blowout state of development. For the corrugated plant, this is not only a new challenge, but also a new development opportunity. This is the whole plant logistics planning. The material handling is intelligent. Trent can supply all the orange parts. So all the material handling and the storage. First one is the paper roll storage and dispenser. The roll storage uses high rack auto warehouse combined with the racking system, stack crane, and the warehouse management system, which can manage the storage and automatically dispense the paper roll based on the corrugated production plan, which can store both the base roll and the rest roll. And then is the paper roll handling system, which transports the paper rolls to the feeding in points according to the WMS information, and also transport the rest rolls back to the warehouse. Whole process is automatically including the weighing, identification, labeling, etc. And then is the WIP zone, the board storage and handling of the corrugator. WIP can manage the board information, store the board in order, and dispense the board according to the printer's request. You can see WIP is also an automatic auto warehouse. And after converting, it is the finished goods handling and storage. The finished goods handling includes the palletizing, film wrapping, and labeling, etc. And transport the goods to the auto warehouse for storage. The auto warehouse will manage the storage and delivery the goods according to the shipping order. In the shipping dock, the system will transport the goods to the designated position according to the truck information. Of course, sometimes the board can be shipped directly from the side conveyor. And then let me show some pictures for the development. First is the paper roll storage. This is the manual warehouse. The efficiency is lower, and the storage capacity also is lower. Depends on the operator's skill and experience. Now, more and more customers prefer this auto warehouse to increase the efficiency, save space, and reduce the daily cost. This kind of racking storage can reach more than 30 meters higher. And then is the roll handling system. This is the traditionally manual roll handling. This use forklift to transport the rolls, which causes the floor dirty, and forklift and operator works there in the same time. This is not safe, and the forklift easy to make the paper roll surface damage and make mistakes sometimes. Now, most new plants are going to use the auto roll handling system to improve their production and reduce cost. And this is a manual WIP. The management and the operation depends on the lab's experience. And if the efficiency is lower and easy to mistake and many labels required. Now, most new plants want to build the intelligent WIP to increase the efficiency and reduce the daily cost. To reduce the space, you can build top layer WIP or multiple layers WIP. It likes the rack or the warehouse. Store the board stacks and dispense it automatically. And for the finished goods handling system, for some small plants, it is often to use manual striping, palletizing, and wrapping, etc. Now, and the efficiency is lower and the cost also is higher. With the development, the plant scale is more and more large and production capacity is higher and higher. So it is difficult to use manual to do these jobs. So almost all new plant want to use robot palletizing, auto conveying and wrapping system. And for finished goods storage, now most plants use manual storage, like the raw material manual warehouse. The efficiency is lower, management is mass and easy to mistake, and the storage capacity is lower. Now, more and more customers want to build out warehouse to improve their management, especially for many kinds of products or for high capacity. And then is for the shipping. For the shipping dock, now most plants use manual loading, which needs many labels, and the work is hard. In the near future, the out truck loading system will be popular to liberate labels. These pictures you see is the hardware improving, and what you don't see is the software. As we talked, software is very important, which should be developed based on actual production experience and can do some decisions according to the algorithm. Trained have more than 20 years experience for paper industry and corrugated industry. We well know the demands and can service our customer better. So next is what we are doing now. For our products, we have two types of products. First is the intelligent equipment, including many kinds of conveying and wrapping system, robot applications, automatic control system, data management system for the pulp and paper industry and the corrugated industry. The second one is the ASRS and the intelligent material handling system, including automatic storage and retrieval system, all kinds of conveying system, sorting system, robot applications, control system, warehouse management system, etc. Our target is to provide one package solution for smart factory to improve production efficiency and product quality, providing basic data and data analysis for customer to make strategic decisions, provide in-plant process planning, provide from key machine development to system integration to achieve automation from raw material feeding, automatic production, intelligent material handling and storage to automatic goods delivery, provide integration management system, information system to make the whole process intelligent and informationized from customer order to goods delivery. And this is some pictures of our products, like this roll handling system, AGV, board handling system. And this is the bottom pallet insert, shuttle cart, and the robot palletizing. And this is the paper roll auto warehouse. And this is the finished goods auto warehouse. And this is the system structure. The right side is the hardware and the control system, and the middle is the system brain, the database server, data acquisition and analysis, communication with the MIA system, and also send the instructions to the control system. And this is the paper roll monitoring system and the data center. Now let me introduce two reference layout. The first one is the paper roll storage and roll handling system. They are 2.8 meter corrugator. The roll auto warehouse can store, the roll auto warehouse can store about 25,000 tons, about 30 dollars storage. The paper roll purchased from outside redefined here. Before going to the warehouse and scanning, weighing, and dimension check here. This side is the base roll storage, and this side, the right side is rest roll storage. The roll handling system can handle 100 rolls per hour out and 60 rolls per hour in. The whole system is fully automatic. Paper roll is sent out according to the production line, production plan requested from corrugator. And the operator can easily to check, inquiry, and modify the information through the warehouse management system. The running status and flow information can be monitored through the display. And this is the board handling system. This project is for Line Dragon in China. This is a 2.8 corrugator. And the reserve 1 corrugate nearby. The speed is maximum 350 meters per minute. Production capacity is 700,000 square meters per day. The output can reach maximum 19 pallets per hour. The Doppler episome can storage about 24 hours, and the palletizing is about 20 buttons per minute. So all these blue parts of the corrugate are supplied by chain This system saves a lot of labels for customer and improves the efficiency. Now, customers are planning to build the new plants in this mode. They are planning to build at least 2 corrugated in 1 year, and they are also considered the auto warehouse for the paper roll and finished products in the future. And now the part 3 is company introduction. Chain Corporation, established in 1999, is one member of the SinoCorrugated Group, is a state company. Our business philosophy is win-win with customers and cooperation and competition with competitors and brokers with employees. Our cultural concept is innovation, pragmatic, striving for development to build Chain as an international first-class supplier for intelligent manufacture. This is our office building. It's about 11,000 square meters with 9 floors. And we have nearly 400 employees here. Most of them are certified engineers. And this is our workshop, about 49,000 square meters with all kinds of CNC machines inside. And this is some of our customers, such as Line Dragon, International Paper, YFY, OG Paper, etc. Till now, we supplied more than 1,500 systems for more than 400 customers. And here is the honors and certificates we got from local government or the third party. And some pictures of honors and certificates. This is the ISO certificates. Here is the technology achievements. Till now, we have more than 100 patents, 14 software products, and 26 computer software corporates. And we participated 4 national research plans and supplied more than 1,500 systems. Chain have a technical and professional sales team, always persist technical sales, provide customized and cost-effective solutions and service for customers. And for our advantages is we always use a customer-centric, and we have a complete project management system and continuously innovation ability. And also we have complete production line, abundant system integration ability and experience. At last, let me play a video to show our products, and then you can understand our products better. I'm sorry. Also, it has no sound, but you can see the videos and it's moving of the equipment.
Yeah, we can see the videos but we can list.
Yeah, you just you can see this equipment movement. This is the roll feeding system, roll handling system. This is the rest roll discharge and back to the warehouse. This is the whole meal planning. For the handling system. Finished goods handling system, palletizing, film wrapping machine, auto labeling, paper roll storage, automatic warehouse. This is a finished product handling system. The pallet auto warehouse. electrical and control system. The data management system. Okay, that's all. Thanks a lot. And for more information, you can visit our website. And also you can contact me for any questions.
Thanks, Stephen. The next speaker is Max Tian. Max has served for digital printing industry for more than 10 years. With the technology development and the changing of customers' needs, WonderJet also kept pacing with variety facilities, including automatic varnish printing system, automatic trimming, slotting, slitter, score system, and so on. So today, Max will present the topic about digital printing technology. So let's Max share the screen. Max?
Can you see me?
可以的，可以看。
Hello, everybody. I'm Max from Wonder Digital Printing Company. Today I will share some information about digital printing with you. Firstly, I would like to do a short introduction about Wonder. We focus on corrugated digital printing since 2011. Our designer is the first person who R&D corrugated digital printer since 2008. After our several times failed and success test, from now on, we have a widely product range for the market. If you ask me to use 6 points to summarize digital advantage, this page is my answer. Convenient, printing cost, flexible and efficient, print on demand, printing quality, and the productivity. First point, convenient. These are 4 factors for explain. The first is directly. What I mean directly? It means you can get any files with any format like AI, PDF, CDR from your client and print out directly. You can download any graphic from internet and print out directly. About save cost. Digital printing has an absolute advantage in small and medium batch printing and urgent documents because you no need make any plate, no need make imposition, no need color correction, no cost for flexible plate. Zero inventory. It means, for example, your client only required 500 boxes this time. Then you only need print 500 boxes this time. Maybe if you use flexible printer, maybe you need to print 500 for delivery and extra 50 boxes for stock for urgent delivery. Easy management. It means digital printer, no need any plate. So you no need to worry about the plate storage, no need to worry about plate damage, no need to worry about plate loose. Only manage your print files. When you need to print old files, you just need to take it out from your document, transfer to software, and print out. No matter when you print it, anytime, the color will be same as the first time. No need color correction. This is the printing cost reference. It's calculated by our software. It has, you can see the image size, ink consumption for each color. Flexible and efficient. You can add any element at any time. No limit by MOQ, no limit by time. It's freedom. You can start any discussion about designs with your client. Just modify files, resend into software, print out, then check result with your client at once. You will have much more imagination than before. You can print any special date like birthday, like memory date, QR code, number of page on each box. It's advanced customization. Your client will feel respect, special and happy. Although the printing time for small batch printing orders is very short, but the complexity and time cost on printing process is still the same as that large batch printing. Therefore, flexible and offsite printing generally have a minimum order quantity. If it is less than the minimum printing quantity, it will increase the printing cost of each box. Fortunately, digital printing works different as flexible printing. There is no concept of printing volume. Digital printing can fully realize the requirement of printing from just one box and waiting for delivery immediately. As Gustavo mentioned just now in his presentation, to have the lowest possible setup times in printing process. That's what digital printing doing. This page was printed in 2019 Sino Shanghai Expo. Is it looks good quality? We just download a graphic from internet, then print it out. Very convenient. You're much professional on flexible printing. You can see this process. I believe you will have your own idea. The process of flexible printing and the process of digital printing, compare the difference. Topic 2, WonderJet digital printer. WD200 Plus series is our water-based ink single-pass digital printer, which achieved 1,200 dpi at most, and the fastest run speed is 150 meters per minute. Different resolution with different speed. This is the newest updated version. We have 7 years experience from our first generation single pass since 2014. Now it's stable and efficient. This is the single pass run video. You can see you can see we printed different in mind on paperboard and things. Everything is different. This video was taken from one Sino last year. Our digital printer with auto filter in line. Also, printing Maidan is difficult. This video is in our local customer factory. This is the feeder. Print out through the air dryer. This is our stock. Dryer. This is furniture packaging. This is our pre-print single-pass digital printer, more efficient than post-printing. Centralized printing and dispersing into boxes. I will show you some photos from our local customer. This is the advertisement from our customer who produce food package. These photos are his own design for fruit, dry food, egg, and wine. The right side image, the right side photo is his advertisement to compare digital printing and flexo print. He is telling his customer that he can do MOQ like 100, but his competitor just do 3,000 MOQ, and he can make design first, then customer choose the order. Any design, any quantity, any shape, any size. This is his design for wine, customers box for gift. The Chinese box means Mr. Li's wine. The second is Mr. Zhu's wine. The third is company gift. The full image also is company gift, specialized. This is for pizza box. This is for furniture. The biggest digital printer we made was 3 meter by 5 meter. It's very good for furniture and doll packaging. This is UV printing. White color print on the brown paper. UV printing advantage is more color range. It can be 5 color, 6 color, 7 color. This is what we printed on wood for wine. This is what we print on honeycomb, 22 millimeter thickness. All of these can finish in one machine. That's digital printing. Widely range, more imagination, more possibility. At the end, wish you guys have a wonderful day. Life is wonderful with WonderJet. Thank you.
Thanks, Max.
Well, thank you, Max. Thank you very much for your time. Well, we are. I think it's very interesting that we listen. It's too late now for some guys. What do you think, Ivy? Ivy, it's okay for close the meeting?
Do you have any question about 4 speakers today?
No have question. Don't have question. We'll wait for the next event. If you think, we invite all of us to the next event. No? Do you want to say any else? Well, thank you for joining us too late. Camera.
So if you have any questions about the content or speech slides, please contact Mr. Mariano or me individually.
Yeah, we send all of participate the assistants, the video, and the presentation for the speakers. Thank you for the 4 speakers. Well, thank you for joining us too late. We want to capture your interest. Thank you, Gustavo. Thank you, Viviana. Thank you, Steve. Mike.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Max, also. Thank you a lot. Well, the next time, previously that the SinoCorrugated Fair, we made another event, another conference. I think today is very interesting. Thank you for all. Well, see you and bye-bye. See you the next time.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.